Chris Brown burst onto the music scene in 2005 with his R&B Hip Hop infused sound, and captivated the younger demographic, which was appropriate as he was only 17. The entertainer's big break made him an instant household name. He was adored by everyone and was compared to even the great Michael Jackson. Everyone had Chris Brown fever. Girls wanted him and guys wanted to be him. Chris Brown did not come to play. He had the hits, charm, and was extremely charismatic. It was very hard not to like him. It's now 2022 and Brown's a totally different artist, and that's natural. Expected. Some would even say an artistic evolution. Chris Brown is still successful and relevant in today's fast-paced music climate, and a lot of people are calling him the new king of R&B. However, when comparing Chris Brown of yesterday to today's, his adoration and appreciation is not at the insanely high level it used to be. One would say he has fallen from grace. And what contributed to this? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. Chris Brown was born in Tappahannock, Virginia, where he would perform in his church choir and local talent shows. In 2004, the young star moved from his humble hometown to New York City to pursue his music endeavors, where he met his former manager, Tina Davis, a senior A&R at Def Jam Recordings. Chris almost signed with the label, but the deal was scrapped in the negotiation process after Tina Davis was let go by the label, but all wasn't lost as Tina helped introduce the singer to other labels before he was signed by Jive Records, who also signed pop stars Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. In 2005, the artist released his self-titled debut studio album under Jive Records, and as I said, he did not come to play. Chris Brown debuted number 2 on the US Billboard 200 chart, selling 154,000 copies first week. The R&B project sold 3 million in the US and 6 million worldwide. The album's leading single, Run It, featuring Jules Santana, produced by Scott Storch and Sean Garrett, also topped the charts in the US. Run It is the perfect blend of crunk, R&B, and hip-hop. The single catapulted a young Chris Brown into the limelight as the new male singer to dominate contemporary R&B in the 2000s. Chris Brown produced 5 singles, with 3 cracking the top 10 on Billboard Hot 100. Run It, Yo, Excuse Me Miss, and Say Goodbye. The artist's debut was followed up with Exclusive, released in 2007, debuting number 4 on the US Billboard 200 chart, selling 294,000 copies first week. On the album, we find Chris Brown producing more R&B heavy tracks and stronger, more mature songwriting. The leading single, Wall to Wall, was not an instant hit commercially as it peaked at number 79. The single was not released for digital download, which might have played a part in its commercial failure, but the succeeding single, Kiss Kiss, featuring T-Pain, buried whatever doubt about Chris Brown being a flop. The single was a smash in the US, peaking number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving all wasn't lost for the entertainer. Exclusive generated 2 more singles, the international hit With You and Take You Down. The dance pop number 2 Hot 100 hit Forever and Superhuman featuring Carrie Hilson was further released from the deluxe, the Forever edition. With all the success of literally everything he touched turning into gold and the fangirl mania of Chris Brown, and he and Rihanna being in a relationship, you would have thought nothing could go wrong. Chris was on top of the world, and it could only go upwards from there. On February 8, 2009, both Chris Brown and Rihanna were slated to perform at the 51st Annual Grammy Awards that took place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. But the couple were not in attendance when it was broadcast live on television. I remember watching the show just to see both artists perform, and I wasn't the only one as their appearance and performance was highly anticipated. At the end of the televised event, I wondered if the Grammys made a mistake by adding them to the lineup, seeing there was no Chris Brown, no Rihanna. The following day, Chris Brown handed himself into Los Angeles police over an alleged assault on an unidentified woman. That unidentified woman was Rihanna. Court documents details Chris Brown's police report that paints an extremely violent altercation that happened between Brown and Rihanna in his Lamborghini on the eve of the Grammys. Rihanna found messages from another woman that Chris Brown had a sexual relationship with in the past, causing an argument resulting in Rihanna being brutally beaten up by Chris. You guys can read the full report. It's easily accessible on the internet. I've read the full thing 12 years later and I'm still shocked. That same year, Chris Brown pled guilty to 1 count of felony assault, escaping a prison sentence, instead serving up to 5 years of supervised probation and 6 months of community labor.
I have told Rihanna countless times, and I'm telling you today, that I'm truly, truly sorry and that I wasn't able to handle the situation both differently and better.
After the assault, Chris Brown's image changed. He was no longer seen as the young charming kid from VA with big dreams, sparks in his eyes. In the eyes of the public, he was now a monster. Despite the wave of, in my opinion, deserved hate, the With You singer went ahead and released his 3rd studio album titled Graffiti in 2009, the same year of the assault. Although he wanted to release the album to kind of express his regret and how the situation affected him and how he would move forward, it was too early in my opinion to release an album. Nobody wanted to hear it. Some radio stations boycotted his music prior and regulars canceled their sponsorship with the artist. On Graffiti, Chris Brown comes off as a bad boy with sad boy undertones. The album was a commercial failure, selling 102,000 copies first week, and as of 2019, the project shipped 500,000 copies in the US, which isn't bad, but for Chris Brown's status, it was disappointing. Critically, Graffiti received negative reviews, resulting in a 39 out of 100 score from Metacritic. In 2011, Chris Brown made an appearance on GMA to promote his music, and he was asked about his past. Chris Brown was clearly uncomfortable with the line of questioning, and after his performance, he threw a tantrum backstage and broke a window in his dressing room. Chris Brown's career is obviously doing a lot better than what I just covered. Both he and his fan base have grown, and he continues to be in the main conversation surrounding music and performing. He has set somewhat of a standard for male performers after Usher. Some people today still hold that dreadful night with Rihanna against him, and he's still being asked about it today. If you want to hold it against him forever, that's up to you. And whether you have forgiven him or not, he will always have a fan base because he makes enjoyable music. I don't think his career will end whatsoever, but because of that dreadful night, the level of pure excitement and joy that used to be associated with Chris Brown, I don't think we'll see that again.